I bet that you thought that the metagame was going to change in some positive directions, right? Don't bet 30% of you that have not smashed the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so you don't miss out more Oscar. I've been building regional breakdowns all night and gathering data, implementing, looking at deck list and everything. I'm going to give you a giant snapshot of some, well, just talk about some things that I've seen that I don't have complete data on, kind of make people a little bit more aware of here. So, on the overall big end of things, if you thought that Kashtira was going to disappear into the sunset right off, I have bad news for you. Kashtira's week 1 representation is wait, what's that? It's still the best deck in the room. Oh. Well, why do we care about the meta then? Because there was a shakeup. Don't worry, all right? There is some positivity here. As a little sub note to this video, I do want to talk about here that, where's the ban list at, Robbie? Just as like a little thought here. You know, as much as I thought we would have got a ban list last week, we have now started into national season. There are a lot of events happening right now, and the next possible place that we could see a ban list, probably, well, they might drop one on us this week and just make the entire first week of events worthless. But I think players would be kind of upset about that. So I'd probably at the end of May into early June, right before, you know, a majority of the big WCQs will begin. All the nationals beginning, with the regionals kind of going on right now, is kind of where we're sitting. You could very much see a WCQ shake-up list right before that. Or, I mean, they could drop it today and just take everything that I just said and invalidate it. But last year we got a list in June to kind of, you know, break up right before the well, actually no, in the past we've had a WCQ defining list. So I think they might actually just hit us with one right beforehand. So kind of keep that in mind right now as we're looking at like a lot of the events starting to unfold here and players getting the chance to kind of play new stuff. That's what we're kind of expecting. So Kashtira, the big bully in the room. Okay. What was it, out of the Seattle Regional this weekend? That actually got broken because we saw four super heavy samurai decks in the top cut. 4 of those. What? That was the only real regional that I saw. Well, I can't say the only one. It was like the biggest super heavy one. From what I read from a lot of players were like, oh my god, there's a lot of super heavy samurai everywhere. Like, the deck is doing so much. I mean, yeah, you can have a lot of participants playing super heavy samurai, but you know what I heard from a lot of people? Yeah, deck sucks because it loses to Droll and Lockbird. Hey. You remember Droll and Lockbird, right? Yeah. Guess what? Droll's back in the format. I hope that your deck can reliably play the game underneath one search before you get drolled. Yeah, that's the format right now. You know, also, like, Kashtira got to bring in Droll and Shifter. And you know what? Shifter's a really good card right now. Like, you might not want to admit it, but at this point in time, Shifter and Droll. Wait a minute. Well, what if I Shifter, I can't Droll then? Yeah, I know. But you can definitely Droll and then Shifter. So, you know what? You got to turn. Let's go ahead and shift you on the follow-up. Offer the hand. Hey, good game, Duelist. Thanks for playing. You know? That's kind of what I'm getting out of this. So, in terms of innovations and things like that, Seattle, we're still missing stuff. You know why I don't get the chance to talk about every single regional under the sun? It's because, you know, we can't track down one player to kind of complete the pie chart, or there's not enough public info. So out of Seattle, there was I believe out of Portland, Oregon as well. I think as of filming this morning that we have only one Gold Pride Punk deck out of the entire weekend here. There might have been a second one, but I haven't actually physically seen a list for it. So in terms of Gold Pride Punk, we had one top out of Portland, Oregon, which is very interesting that they chose to have the Portland, Oregon event, because that was the exact same weekend as the Pokemon event in Oregon. So, you know, the fact that you decided to put both of them in the exact same location, I'm sure that drove down regional attendance, but that's neither here nor there. Little interesting things that you notice out here for 500. So, there's that. So we had only one recorded Gold Pride Punk as of filming this morning. That might change throughout the week, but I mean, I don't think I don't think it's going to be the case. I did wholeheartedly mention that I thought that the deck would be a rogue contender. I mean, it looks like it is in the rogue category. Like, that's nothing to be really, too off the wall about. So Kashtira Purely doing their thing. What about, Super Heavy and Kashtira doing their thing. What about Purely and Despia? Well, first of all, Pac played Purely out of New York, made a top cut. No list is going to be public. He might show it on his Twitch. I don't know, but I heard that they wanted to keep it quiet going forward. So until the YCS. So kind of keep that in mind if you're like, oh boy, Purely. Well, there's that. Purely had a lot of top cuts. I mean, a lot. It actually ended up winning a regional. You'll have regional breakdowns on this channel all this week, so you'll be able to take a snapshot way more inbound into the data so that you can have an idea of what's going on in that department. And then, of course, the topic of Despia. I love getting flamed from people every time that I talk about that Despia players don't really have an idea of what they want to do. And this weekend showcased that exact same thought to me that I wasn't wrong. I watched a Despia player top cut video, and they were like, yeah, Nadir Servant's trash. I watched another profile, and they were like, yeah, Nadir Servant's the best thing in the deck. When you have split mentalities like this, that means that the deck has room to grow. It means the players haven't figured out ratios yet. That's a good thing, all right? I like when a deck can have difference of opinions and different ideas being brought to the table. That is where innovation lies, because that means that if you have different ways to build these decks, whether or not, if you're trying 40 cards, 45, though more than 40 seems to be really the way that Despia has been going as of late, I do want to say that. Like, if you're a Despia player, congratulations if you got your deck to 40 and you can do well. But like 42, 45, actually I think 45, 46 has been like the limit. I don't think anybody's tried, going to 50 this format. They're like, 45 seems to be about the go-to for this point in time. So Nadir Servant / Nadir Servantless is what you're looking at right now. Yeah, I know that's a very big cop-out answer, but I mean, when you're seeing like split vision here in terms of builds and how things are going, yeah, perfectly makes sense at the end of the day. Robbie, what about MathMech? What's going on here with that? Oh, Wyoming, MathMech's there. I mean, it's doing okay. I mean, circular F, like offer handshake, good game. Like, what do you want me to tell you? Like, the only real changes are, did you put in the firewall package? Yes or no? Did you add in Sakitama Aratama? Yes or no? You can still play MathMech without those cards. All right, nothing changed in that department. MathMech is so resilient, you can still play the older builds and still do fine. It's still here in Top Cut. That hasn't changed. Same thing with Sprite. I honestly, Sprite was a little bit slower this weekend than I kind of thought it would be. Kind of like at the shift of last format, I think that we got to let Sprite kind of do its thing here. I think that players are going to have to innovate the different builds and find out which version of Sprite that they're going to want to go with. And I think once you kind of see that unfolding of what they want to do, it'll kind of come together. But overall, looking at everything out of the weekend, I'm not surprised. I'm really not. There's not a lot of exciting things happening. I mean, unless you're super excited to be Super Heavy Samurai players, and I mean, congratulations. I will give it to all of your Super Heavy Samurai players. I'll clap for you. You believed in the deck. You believed that someday your pile of cards called All Monsters would get the chance. But again, I loved Heavy Monster Beat back in the day with Gallus Star Beast and milling out your opponent with the infinite loops with the Kawaki Meru guy. That was hilarious, all right? But as of where we are right now, I mean, the monster pile has a lot of issues. Draw and Lockbird is an auto-win button against a lot of the format right now. I don't think a lot of people realize that. Like, how was your day? Well, I got Droll and Lockbird, and I scooped up my cards and left. I got 2-0'd because my opponent had Droll and Lockbird. That's the story I've been hearing right now. Also, I've already heard 3 Despia players tell me how much they dislike the deck because they got ashed. And my comment section told me that Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring was not the main reason why Despia is not doing good. Strange, but what do I know? Please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I'll have way more info to kind of come, but I wanted to give like a very beginning idea and showcase so you could see what's happening. Peace out, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.